We are now on the record in Greenwood County Case 2022 CR 133, State of Kansas versus Gregory Brian Kelly. Greenwood County Attorney Jill Gillette appears for the state. Mr. Kelly does appear in person and pro se. Mr. Kelly, we are here in a pretrial conference. You had asked for or demanded a jury trial in count 1, possession of marijuana after a prior conviction. Count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia. Count 3, operating a motor vehicle without liability insurance. And count 4, operating a motor vehicle with unlawful registration or expired tag. Are you still seeking a jury trial, sir? And you're muted. If you'd unmute, please. Find that red icon with the microphone with the line through it and click on it.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can, sir. And are you still wishing a jury trial?
Yes, I am. Also, the driving without insurance has been dropped. So it has been.
All right. So you were able to get proof of insurance to Miss Gillette?
Yes.
And Miss Gillette, that has been dismissed?
Judge, I don't have that journal entry in front of me, but I can look it up.
I see it. October 18th, journal entry of dismissal. Now that
Judge, if I might mention also, I have registered for the PACER, but I have not been accepted on a district level, and I'm having trouble getting my papers filed for this matter. And so I would like to express on the record that there are some due process violations. Some are substantial, some are harmless, but I believe that we might need a motions hearing to discuss some of that matters.
Very well. Now, you told me you'd applied for, did you say the PACER?
Yes, I have registered on PACER, but
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with what that is. Are you saying PACER?
Yes, that's correct.
And what does that
PACER is the federal system, Judge. It's not the state system. PACER ECF is the federal system.
But
okay. So that is something not available in the state court then, Ms. Gillette? Because like I said,
correct.
40 years, I've never heard of that.
eFlex is our filing portal, and Odyssey is the one that's available for the Kansas Judicial Branch.
Oh, okay.
I'm only familiar with PACER and ECF because I was a federal attorney for a while, and I have worked in many federal cases. And so I have access to PACER and ECF, and I use it frequently to double check federal cases on defendants that have pending cases in both courts.
All right, thank you. So did you understand that, Mr. Kelly? We use a different system than the PACER. Sounds like our system is similar to it, but we call it, it's the Odyssey symbol, Ms. Gillette, is that right? It's equivalent.
Yeah, it's called Odyssey, but it's through the Kansas Judicial Branch.
Okay, so now, does that help you any, Mr. Kelly?
We'll check into that. I work 9 to 2, sometimes 7, 8 o'clock at night. So I'm unable to actually go to the courthouse and file in person, but I do have quite a few papers that I do need to file in this matter.
Okay, well, those do not have to be filed in person because of the system we have that sounds like it's familiar with or consistent with the PACER. You don't have to be in person to file, and you can file it at different times. So once you gain familiarity with that system, it'll probably serve your purposes. I do see you filed one document.
Yes, and also
it just says, but sir, it just says motion to dismiss, lack of evidence, KSA 22-3437. parenthesis 3 and KSA 22-3402 parenthesis 3 parenthesis 4. So I don't have those statutes open in front of me. I don't have them memorized. What are those in reference to?
Well, the first one was in reference to the fact that we had started proceedings and I had not received drug lab. One of those statutes state that the drug lab has to be in 21 days or 20 days before proceedings start. I'm not exactly familiar with the second one at hand, but you stated at that time that you were going to make a determination on that and send me a letter, and I never received anything
Okay.
on that at all.
All right, so I need to review that, it sounds like, and sooner rather than later. And I see the state has filed subpoenas. And it looks like that's about all that's happened.
Who has been filed? Who has been given subpoenas for the state?
Well, I can tell you pretty quickly here. Looks like the state has subpoenaed Deputy Fisher.
Okay.
And any evidence he has. Okay, that's one. It looks like they have subpoenaed Emma Tursky from the KBI.
Okay, wonderful.
So she looks like she has probably done some lab work in that. And you're still wanting a trial, is that right?
That is correct.
And you still wish to waive your right to counsel and represent yourself?
I am going to be my own counsel. That is correct.
Well, and will you be ready to go on this Wednesday if we go?
No, I would be ready for a motion hearing on Wednesday, but I feel due to the due process violations that we need to make some determinations on some of those.
Well, Mr. Kelly, Miss Gillette is prosecuting in Elk County today. She serves Elk and Greenwood. Miss Gillette, would you be available if I saved this till the end of the docket to take up that motion, or will you be tied up with other responsibilities?
Judge, I have a hearing now that Judge Lee's waiting on me for that was supposed to start at 10. And then I have a trial at 11. And so for today, I have availability. I'm not done with court this afternoon until 4:30. That's when I am available. And then I have time for motions sometime tomorrow. I'm with you, going to be most of the day tomorrow.
Let's look at tomorrow. Missy, it looks like, do we have all morning open tomorrow?
Yes, we do.
First appearances. I don't know. Does that give you enough time, Ms. Gillette, to be ready sometime tomorrow? Morning, would that work for you, like around 11-ish?
I could do something tomorrow around 11, Judge.
Or it looks like, again, Missy, we have 3:30 open.
Yeah, 3:30 is open too.
In fact, basically probably 3:30. I don't really want to set anything much before that in case our first appearances run over. So what time sounds best to you, Ms. Gillette, for the motion hearing?
Whichever's best for the court, Judge. I'll make it work.
All right. Mr. Kelly, do you have a preference whether we do morning or afternoon tomorrow?
Morning would be better for me so I could still make my work. Also, I'm requesting more discovery. I did not get the analytical page of the drug lab, only the primary. And so I don't have any of the numbers as far as potency or anything of that. So I would like it. And then also I'm requesting more footage from the officer's dash cam. I believe that there was a third camera that I have not received. And so in order to better prepare my case. I really need those 2 pieces of discovery.
All right, well, generally they turn over everything they have, but Ms. Gillette, if you want to double check and see if there's anything else that you don't have, you haven't been able to give him. And
Your Honor, requests for discovery are supposed to be made in writing, and when you represent yourself, you run the risk of knowing what you need to file and not file. I mean, I probably am going to file a response and ask that his motion to dismiss be set aside as too vague.
I would agree with that.
It's their responsibility to set out the reasons why they believe something should be dismissed, and his motion literally just lists 2 statutes and doesn't have any argument or facts. And then discovery requests should be sent in writing to my office. We give everything we have at the time, and he's had to come in and do requests in writing before, and I think now is not the time to gum up everybody else in trying to explain a lot of things to him. So we'll have to explain to him some of that stuff.
All right, so Mr. Kelly, I would have to agree that right now, if I were to decide your motion, I would have to say it is too vague, because it is literally what I just read. You need to say what it is about what's contained in those statutes that makes it illegal. So why don't you, between now and 11 o'clock tomorrow, work on getting to Ms. Gillette in the court a more specific motion and get her that written request for discovery. And then we'll take this all up tomorrow at 11. And if we can get it resolved at 11, we will. If we can't, then we'll have to decide when we can hear more. But let's do those things. But of course, if she has those things, she'll need to get those to you.
Right. Can I, if I might say, I did request all that in a written motion back in August, and I did not receive all of the information that I asked for.
Well, all I see again in the file, and I don't know that we need to take up too much time on this with so many folks waiting, but let's look again at what you filed. Okay. This is what I have in the court file, okay?
Yes.
I have a bond that you posted August 10th of 2022. I have the complaint information, that's the charging docket filed by the state August 17th, 2022, along with their probable cause affidavit to support your arrest. That was filed August 17th. August 18th, I get a copy, it looks like, of the bond. The 10th showed you posted it, but then the 18th gave us a copy. 9/6 was, okay, there is 9/6/2022 request for discovery. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, you did request a bill of particulars, KBI lab results. Something I can't quite make out. Oh, field test results. And said standing, all documents pertaining to probable cause, including only all attachments or sworn oaths, all case report files, probable cause hearing results. Another word I can't quite make out. Any and all documents pertaining to warrants and worthless warrants or warrantless warrants.
Correct.
County charter, and I don't know what county charter that would be. Oath of office for the following people: Deputy Fisher, prosecutor, judge, clerk of courts. Bond policy numbers for following: Deputy Fisher, acting sheriff, prosecutor, clerk of courts. Void where contrary to what?
Law.
To what?
Void were prohibited by law.
Okay, by law. And then it says Gregory Brian Kelly, all rights reserved without prejudice. So that, you were right, that was filed
September 18th.
Well, it says information request for discovery is 9/6. Request for trial by jury 9-6. Prosecutor's intent to proffer concerning the drugs for 9-14. Transcript request 9-14. Subpoenas, return of service, transcript complete, transcript of preliminary hearing. So, Ms. Gillette, this started out apparently as a felony and then went down to a misdemeanor.
Not to my knowledge.
It says
I don't believe
transcript
so.
922 preliminary hearing, but we wouldn't have had a preliminary hearing.
There's not a preliminary hearing. It was just probably a mistype in the system, Judge.
That's what it looks
No,
like. That's what
It started as a misdemeanor, has continued as a misdemeanor, but like I said, there's certain things that are and aren't that are legal issues, Judge. And so those are things that would need to be discussed or taken up at
Okay.
another time, more time.
Okay, well, let's take up as much of that as we can tomorrow at 11 a.m. And Missy, how do you want to get the Zoom codes to him? Do you have everything you need to get those to him?
Yes, I will email it out later today.
All right, so watch for those Zoom codes, Mr. Kelly, and we will see you back here. Absent something unforeseen, 11 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You may go, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Judge. I'll see you later.
Okay, thank you. Who